everyone, this is Jenny. I hope you are doing well during the quarantine. Professor Joe reached out to me and asked me to make a video for you to cheer you up. So here I am. Today, I will include 3 topics. The first one is who I am, what do I do? The second one is how did I get there, to give you some career advice. And the third one is my advice to you during the special time. So I am Jenny Gong. I graduated from Fordham Business Analytics in May 2017. After that, I started working for a company called Group M until now. So Group M is one of the world's largest advertising agency, and my job is a data scientist in the programmatic buy department. So that is who I am. Then what do I do? So basically, I use statistics and machine learning models to process large-scale advertising data and then push the results using the APIs into DSP platforms. The goal is to help optimize programmatic campaign performance in a very granular level that the media traders will not cover in their day-to-day optimizations. I do a lot of long-term and back-end projects to try to build a tool or a solution to optimize the campaign based on log-level data to answer complex questions. A good example is that I recently built a model to try to understand the online user behaviors and has helped the client to use the least money to target most valuable users. The tools I use these days are big data tools like Google Cloud or AWS clusters, Spark, programming language like Python, and visualization tools like Tableau. My work also involved in a lot of communications and presentations with multiple parties, like programmatic traders. We need to get requests from them, understand their problems. So a good data scientist cannot be very successful if he or she doesn't know their domain, and the programmatic traders are my domain experts. We also need to cooperate with the engineer team. So basically, they help me to schedule and productionize the products I build. But if they don't have time, most of the time I just do the coding myself, especially in the early stage of a product. We also need to present to the clients to show them the business value that we have provided. To be honest, I wasn't know at the very beginning I will become a data scientist someday. But what I do know is that I have this crazy interest about finding patterns in chaos. I have read a lot of novels about detectives when I was a little girl. Then, with no doubt, I chose to study science in high school and in my undergraduate. I have studied material science and engineering in Nanjing University in China. Although I cannot quite remember the knowledge I have studied, like polymer chemistry or quantum mechanics, but the scientific trainings of my brain definitely helped me a lot in solving data science problems now, because science problems are very similar. It's all about asking the correct questions, form hypotheses, test hypothesis using experiments, and then draw a conclusion. Then after 4 years study science, I decided not to pursue a degree in scientific research because I want to do something more applied. That's why I came to the US to pursue a master's degree in business analytics. In my master years, I was very lucky to have the opportunity to do research with Professor Joe. That is when I really confirmed my interest in doing data science because they're so much fun. I remember thinking about research problems even when I was eating when I was on a subway. I remember coding whenever I have time to sit down. It was really, really challenging, but really fun. So I highly recommend if you are still a student in school, try to reach out to the professors and ask to help on their research. So my first advice to you is to find your own passion because that is the best field to power you up along your way, whether it is finance, sports, fashion, or technology. Don't just do what others told you to. Find your own passion because if you don't like what you are doing, you will be suffering every single day. And secondly, take necessary trainings to build up your skills. If you want to be a data scientist, math and programming skills are the basic skills you will need and you will be tested on in your interview. And most importantly, once you have the basic skills, try your best to practice. I know students, especially Chinese students, normally has this mindset. I need to study a lot from the textbook. I need to finish 100 online courses. I need to get 100 certificates and then I will be ready. But I'm telling you, no, that is not the case at all. Sure, you will need some basic knowledge, but once you know the basics, what really differentiates you with others is whether you can apply those knowledge on the real-world cases. And also, in a data science interview, sure, you will get tested about your basic knowledge, but higher frequency questions that are asked during the interview are related to real-world cases. It is really hard for someone who hasn't done any projects to answer those questions, like how do you deal with missing values? How do you deal with imbalanced data? And the interviewer sometimes just throw you a data set and ask you to walk them through the process about how will you approach one question. So my final advice is learn by doing. Don't hold the perfectionism in your mind. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Enjoy problem solving in the real world, and I'm sure you will find it way more interesting than the textbooks. I understand this is a hard time for the entire human nation. You must have been feeling frustrated about what's going on, and the fact that as a non-medical professional, you can't do anything to help. However, let me tell you this, as an individual, there are actually things we can do. That is being positive and improving ourselves during this time. So don't waste your time on your phone, social media, or video games. Because do you know that today you have wasted is the tomorrow that some people were actually expecting but never came. So try your best to study, to become a better person, a more useful person to yourself, your family, and the society. That is the exact action you should do to help during this special time.